All right, guys, I thought it was about time for an updated EDC video. Now, this is not a duty gear video. This is just an everyday carry outside of work, just something that you can look at, get ideas from. I think we all like to watch these kind of videos. I know I love watching them when people put them up because it gives me ideas and ways to carry things. Like, for instance, I'm going to show you the Surefire dual fuel that you can now carry in your pocket because I added something to it and you couldn't have done that before, how it comes from factory. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'm going to let you know what I carry and how I carry it and use this system together. Let's just start here on the right. I'm going to show you one of my newer and one of my most favorite items is this full-size K-bar TDI knife. This is the full-size version, and it's a straight blade, non-serrated. The grip is just phenomenal, and you can get your thumb up over there, and it gives you so much control with your thumb up over top, or you can swing it around, and you can carry it like this, where when you draw it, it will come out like that. So there's a lot of different ways to carry it, and a lot of different things you can do with this. Now, since I've used this for some weeks now, and used it on duty, let me go ahead and tell you a couple negatives about this. I carry this on my belt or my duty belt, and my main issue is getting in and out of vehicles and different things. This comes unsnapped very easily. So I'm actually going to try to find a way where I can JB weld or do something to bond this snap together permanently, and then I'm just going to thread my belt through the holes right here. This is actually made for molly gear. I just don't want it on my tack vest at work. That's not how I want it when when I may need it. I want it on my side, on my offside carry, and but I will just thread my belt through the open loops right here. But I just don't want these to keep coming unsnapped. And why it comes unsnapped is because where I carry it, because the handle is longer, it sits against the seat funny. When you sit down, sometimes it'll go to the outside of the seat, and you might have to push it in like this. Sometimes it'll just hang up, and when you sit in a vehicle, it'll be on the outside of the vehicle seat like that, on the toward the console, and it just torques on these snaps, and it makes them come unsnapped. Now, the only other issue I have that I do not like, and I'm trying to figure out a way to fix the issue, is depending on how you sit and what you do, this knife can actually get pushed down in deeper to where you almost can't get it out one-handed. See if I can do that. Like right there, I got it that time. But when you're standing and it's on your belt and you're pulling up like this, it can be very tough to get out. Like you literally have to yank to get this out. So what I've been doing is I will always set this up when I get out of a vehicle or I'm going into a situation somewhere. I will set this up to where it's lightly pushed in and not fully pushed in all the way. Next up is the Maxpedition Keeper. Unfortunately, I lost my new black one in the house somewhere, and I haven't been able to find it since. This is an old one. This goes back to around 2010. It's so old that the Velcro is starting to wear out. See how it's all frayed there? But it's actually still working, and that's pretty good for something that's 11 years old. Got to have this for my keys. Whether on duty or off duty, I have to have a way to carry my keys. I know there's things you can put on your duty belt. I like these though, and there's also things you can put on a tack vest at work. But I like these guys. You put this on your belt, and you just hang your keys from it, and it allows you to have so much more freedom in your pockets and ease to move around when you put this on the side of your pants. I just carry it on my offside, opposite of my gun, and it's carried right behind this K-bar TDI, kind of like this on the belt. I shoot left, so it's on my right side, right around the 330 position. All right, let's talk about the firearm now. This is the Glock 43X, great shooting gun, easy to carry, nice lightweight. This is a Works holster. I've got some video reviews of the holster up. I like it pretty well. And it's got this little claw here that kind of pushes us in toward the body when I carry it on my left side, and it makes the handle go in further towards you, and it makes it more concealable. The mag is out. This is empty. I did that for the video purpose, but I will show you what ammo I'm carrying here in a second. This does have the night sights. It's factory, it's marked on the box. I bought this from a very good subscriber of mine that lived in the same state that I do, and he offered this up, and he gave it to me for a decent price, and I met him at the gun store, and I bought it right in the parking lot. Then we went in the gun store to look around. So, legal in my state, guys, legal in my state to do that. So there's the Glock 43X. Really like this firearm, as I'm sure most of you know. Now, keep in mind, with all this being said, for duty at work, everything's going to be probably what you might call either upgraded or bigger, just because you're working with a duty belt. I do carry a Glock 17, and then on the tack vest, I carry the extra magazines. So the work system is much different than just an EDC going around to the store every day carry. There's a lot less responsibility that you're dealing with when you're just EDCing and going to a store than when I'm at work. And there's a lot less that I have to have on me. And when I'm at work, there's more tools for the trade that I need to have with me. So of course, my work EDC is going to be very different and what you may call upgraded from what you see on this table. Next up is the spare magazine that I carry in the Works Holster Extra Mag Carrier. This, of course, would go on my right side because I shoot left-handed, and it would sit on my side like this. And as you can see, it is curved for your body. Works really well, and it is very comfortable. And it does have retention screws right here, so you can dial in your own retention to however you want it to be when you practice and things like that. And what I carry in there, guys, is Corbon 115 grain standard pressure ammunition. I like Corbon. It's definitely a very proven round, and I've got no issues or worries carrying Corbon like that. This is also a bonded bullet. You can see right there, these are bonded. It helps it to stay together better. It gives it more mass when it's traveling through something. It also will give it a little bit better barrier penetration if you ever need it in that situation. So that's what I carry my spare magazine in right there. Bullets forward, just like that. Next, let's talk about a little anomaly here. This little thing here, the reason this is off of my keys are in another room, of course. I would have those with me wherever I go. But the reason that I have this out here is because I was walking the dog one day, and I had this on my keychain. I've been using it for months and months. You can see the wear on there. This is the Nightcore TIP-SE keychain light. You can look those up if you want. And I got one of these, and I was using it, and I liked it so much, I just kept it on my keys. And I was out with the dog one day. It literally stormed on us so hard that it was like we just stepped out of a swimming pool, both me and the dog. I mean, clothes were just saturated to the bone. There was no way to get any wetter. If I'd have walked in the pond, I would have been just as wet as I was. This thing didn't work when I got home. And I was like, oh, maybe it's because that charging port's open. I didn't know. So I just took it off of my keys. I set it aside. And wouldn't you know, a couple days later, I pick it up, and after it dried, it works perfectly. And I still haven't even charged it. This has been weeks ago. This thing still works perfectly. So this is definitely going back on my keychain. You can hang this off your keys on your side, turn it on, it will illuminate around you. You can use this when you're putting keys in a door lock, anything like that. You can use this for just little tasks and not get out a main or primary light if you want to save that light's battery. Next, I'm sure you all want to know what this is. This just came into the EDC. This is kind of a sentimental thing here. Where this came from, they asked me not to do a video about it, and I said I wouldn't. But let's just say this knife has sentimental value, and it was given to me as a gift. And it is the Spyderco. The model is the Police, and it is VG10 steel, made in Seki City, Japan, and it is G10 handle scales. And I just love this knife. I always wanted to try one of the Police models. I never had one before, and I really like this thing. I also like serrated blades. I know a lot of guys don't, but there's a good use for serrated blades, especially when you want to cut through something thick and heavy. Serrations will cut through quicker than a plain edge blade. So this would be in my pocket, and this would be on my side, my off side of my gun. This is basically for if somebody goes for your gun, you can use this, or if you're wrestling around on the ground, really anything you could use this for. When I'm on duty, this is just strictly for if somebody goes on my left side for my gun, I come out of the right side and you can go at them, you know, face, neck, cut their arm, the tendons in their arm, they'll let go. So that's what this is for. This isn't for, you know, like tasks and opening boxes and different things like that. This is pretty much for one thing. This knife here, though, you could use it for any little tasks, opening little packages, or just whatever you wanted to do with this, you could use this knife for. Or you can actually use it for self-defense very easily if you needed to. So I like this Spyderco Police. Look at this blade. I got a 2XL size hand, and look at the blade. So it ain't no joke. It is a big knife. It's a lock back. And I think a lot of these are discontinued, but I think you can find some of them on eBay. If you want to look there. But I like that, and it's into the rotation right now of EDC. Probably be EDCing that all the time. So let's move on to the light, guys. And because I upgraded this light, it gave me a lot of capabilities with this light. Now, this light I use for work, but once I got this Theorem ring on there, the finger ring, I can actually take this and carry it EDC outside of work. And I'm going to tell you how that works right now. So I would have this, I have to keep this on my left side in my left pocket. So in my pants pocket, I go to the back corner of the pocket, I put it down in the pocket, and the pocket goes up the clip right here. And then the ring is down in the pocket, and the button is a little bit outside of the pocket. When you're walking around or whatever that you're doing, all you have to do is reach down at the edge of your pocket with your finger, and you can pull it out by the ring, and you're good to go. So you can take this clipped right in the pocket. It keeps it up high in the pocket so it doesn't go down to the bottom. It doesn't feel bulky or anything because it's at the back of your pocket, and it's straight up and down like this. It doesn't feel like a big bulky item or anything. I didn't even notice it was there when I started doing this off duty, carrying it like this. Then when I'm on duty, I got a pouch for this, and this slides into the pouch, and I can come up to my tack vest, my body armor, and just rip it out like that real quick if I need to. So that's a really good thing to have, that Theorem ring, and they make them for all kinds of lights. So even if you have stream light or anything else, I highly recommend that Theorem flashlight ring. It's been dropped on the concrete a couple times, and this clip's been pulled pretty hard, and it still hasn't broke yet. And you know how it is, guys, when you're at work and stuff, hard on gear. So it's still holding up good. If that changes, I'll definitely let you know. Now, last but not least, let's talk about this DPS Black Label pepper spray. 10% OC and 2% CS gas. Now, this is what they use in prisons and things like that. No, I do not work in a prison. You can't carry guns and duty belts and extra magazines in a prison. But I had some people ask me that, and the answer is no. But I just know from doing research on this and watching videos that they spray they got like a team in there that gets all dressed up and uses shields and all this protective gear when somebody won't come out of a cell. Well, they have a hose they put on a bigger canister of this, and no matter where the guy's at in his cell, they put it through the food port, the little hose, they put it into the food port, and they give about a 2-second burst of this, and the guy starts choking and gagging, and when he's down on the ground, there's nothing he can do. They come in then, and they subdue him, so that way he doesn't have to get really hurt or broken bones. It actually causes less damage to hit a prisoner with this first and then go in than it does to go in fresh with that prisoner standing there ready to fight. From what these guys say, you know, like I said, with the prison scene, and this stuff is pretty lethal. This stuff is supposed to do the trick. The main reason I like it is because you can get this canister here that has the clip on it like this. It's very convenient. You can carry it different ways, and this is nice to have just in case you get into a situation with, you know, somebody that's drunk or something's going on, and you're out with your kids or your family, your wife, and you need something. It's definitely not a call to pull your firearm, but somebody's in your face and there's a threat to you or your family. You can get away with using something like this, and this will definitely do the trick and get somebody out of your face and off of you if you use something like this. It's non-lethal. It won't hurt anyone. The effects will wear off, but they may think twice with messing with somebody again if they didn't have any cause to. You know, you don't want to go up and start an argument with somebody and then they step back in and they escalate and you escalate and they escalate and then you use this. You want to make sure that if you do use this, that whatever that person was doing, that they're either crazy or drunk or something, and it was all on them, and you tried your best to avert the situation, you know, and you'll be justified and, you know, easily get away with using this in that type of scenario if there's cause to, you know, because less than lethal is definitely a good thing to have, and there's a lot of situations it can help you in, you know, on the street if you ever need it. I think that's about everything, guys. Oh, you know what? I had something in my pocket that I didn't put out there, and it's the same as before. I've been looking into different ones, but I don't know if it's going to change. But that is the Popov leather wallet. I like this. It used to be a lighter brown. It's leather, so it naturally turns dark, and it's got the cream color stitching here. I like this, but I like this, but to be honest with you guys, I have been looking into different kinds of wallets and don't know what I'm going to try next. But I do want to try something with a little bit more capacity, you know, inside, but not really bulky. So this soon may be going away and I may be moving to something else. I'm just doing research and looking around. If you got any ideas about more of a tactical style wallet that will hold extra cards and money and things in it, a little bit bigger than this, but not too bulky, let me know in the comments below. One other thing, guys, that I didn't mention is my Olight. This is the MT Raider from Olight. This is a 123 battery. And sometimes if I just want to go really light, I may just use this as an EDC light. This sits up on my tactical vest at work in a certain way that I can use this and go hands-free and have light down in front of me if I need to. I have been using the Surefire batteries that are rechargeable right here, and they're very good. But I have to say one thing, and it's not a knock on the Surefire batteries, because in my experience, all of these batteries do this. There is no warning. You will not go from bright to medium to dim light, and then this cuts off. This goes from full brightness to just turns right off on you. You always want to keep your batteries charged when you are using this, because you'll just literally click this thing on, it'll be nice and super bright, and it'll just die straight out. There is no like light curve. It just goes from it just goes from a high, strong, bright beam to dead. So you definitely want to keep those batteries charged, but this isn't my primary light, but it is a light that I carry and I use a lot. It does have two modes. You have your super bright, and then if you press it twice, you get a lower mode that will save battery and will get you some more run time if you need it. And I have used that too at work for some different things. So that's it, guys. I think I covered it all. Sometimes I do forget an item or two, but that looks to be pretty much the bulk of what I carry outside of work and off duty. Just going to the store and doing things that I do, walking the dog, you name it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you got any questions, I'll definitely answer you in the comments below. All right, guys, until next time, this is DOF, and I'm out.